Do you know why it's called the liver? It comes from the Old English word lifer. It used to be, like the heart today, a symbol of health. So imagine my surprise when it became the very reason I was losing my life. When people think of life after high school, most think of going to college or finding their way in the big bad world. For me, I didn't have that choice before it was taken away from me. I was only 19 at the time, only a few days after graduating when my boyfriend left for the service. Just 3 months, he reassured me, before he got into the van that'd take him away. And even though I knew he was doing it for us, for our future, it was hard. Just 3 months, I had to remind myself. But a lot can happen in just 3 months. It wasn't a few weeks after we exchanged those 3 words that I began feeling ill. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was the weekend just after 4th of July, while everyone was swimming or tanning, that I noticed something wasn't right. From the moment I woke up, I just felt drained, fatigued. I had no appetite, and my body hurt in the weirdest way. I tried sleeping it off. In fact, all I did was sleep for a week. And still, something was off. Nobody at home thought much of it. Because of my history of chronic depression, they just thought I was just having an episode. As much as I wish that was the cause, it wasn't. As much as I didn't really want to eat, I obviously had to. Something needed to give me the energy to get better, I reasoned. But it wasn't long before I started to vomit everything that I tried to swallow. Crackers, soup, even water. And just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, I was struck by a sharp cramp near my stomach. I thought it was a sudden, one-time sort of pain. But it continued to throb and sting for 3 days before we finally decided it was time to visit the hospital. And even though my mom assured me it was probably nothing more than a stomach bug, I knew. Deep down, I knew it was more. They checked my heart rate, listened to my breathing, and then finally shined a flashlight into my eye. That's when I heard the room fall quiet. I looked over and could see the doctor's eyes widen and my mom's gasp. "What's wrong?" I nervously asked. There was a worrying pause before the doctor answered. "You have jaundice." I guess he could tell that didn't really answer my question, so he began to explain. "It's when your eyes and skin turn yellow." "What? What do you mean yellow?" I said, as fear coursed through my veins. But instead of an answer, the doctor excused himself. My heart raced, as did the heart monitor beside it, as the beeps grew quicker and louder, until the curtain pulled back to reveal a team of doctors. "Have you been feeling tired?" one asked. "Yes." "How about nauseous?" another chimed in. "Mm-hmm. And pain around this area?" another wondered, pointing to my abdomen. I nodded. For a moment, they seemed to know what was going wrong and how to make it right. A team of doctors appearing at your bedside? Usually a good sign, right? Well, not in this case. Even though all my symptoms had seemingly confirmed their suspicions, they didn't look happy about it. In fact, it looked like they grew more concerned. It seemed like a million years before he finally broke the silence that was suffocating my mother and I. "Dear, your lab results came back." He took a deep breath before continuing. "And it appears that you are suffering from autoimmune liver disease. There's a chance it could be fatal." I remember my mind blanking in denial of what I was hearing. I remember the room growing smaller, heavier, making it difficult to breathe as I became lightheaded. My boyfriend's voice repeated in my head, "Just 3 months." And through the chatter of the doctors discussing what to do with me, through the noise of the machinery in the room, one sound stood out above the rest. My mother bursting into tears, not knowing what to think or what to do, as her daughter's life dangled by a thread. "Can't you just stop whatever's causing her liver to fail? There's got to be something you can do," my mom begged. "That's the thing, ma'am. It's autoimmune, meaning her immune system is causing it, attacking her healthy cells. Her immune system, which normally protects you from diseases, has mistaken her own body for something it should fight. It's not an infection which we can fight with antibiotics," the doctor tried explaining before turning to me. "In autoimmune diseases, the cause is your immune system, your liver, you." "Did I do something wrong? Why me?" I cried. The doctor shook his head. for now, it just seems like bad luck, I'm afraid. This bad luck turned my immune system from something that protected my body from harm to the very thing that was harming it. My liver was on fire. And the bad news was that the liver is a vital organ, the chemical factory of the body. It produces, converts, and breaks down chemicals that are necessary to, well, staying alive. In other words, if it stops working, so do you. Here was the good news. The liver can regenerate by itself. Eventually. I just needed something to slow my immune system, give my liver a fighting chance in this race against time. A race to see if it could repair itself faster than my immune system could dismantle it. But there was more bad news. I needed steroids, and not the type people associate with bodybuilding, but the type that would help calm my immune system. The only problem was that there was a chance these meds could interfere with the healthiest parts of my body. Steroids can have side effects on almost all organs. Not all of them are equally bad. Statistically, only 1 in 10 will face problems in other vital organs. Well, I've already proven to be unlucky because that's exactly what happened. You see, as it turns out, the medicine that was gonna save my liver had a serious effect on my brain. The clock was ticking. The end was coming. I could feel it. Doctors came and went. Test results came back negative time and time again, all while I grew weaker with each passing day. It's all a bit blurry. I don't even remember how long I was there or what I did. All I remember is how I felt. Utter dread. It was dread from not knowing how to say goodbye to the people I love, how to let go. It was what I held on to, something to fight for, you know? During my final week there, I fell into a deep sleep. My mother told me that while I slept, I mumbled to her, "Mom, I see him. I see the light. I'm safe, Mama." She thought that was it. She held her breath in my hand all through the night. Tired as she was, she didn't let herself rest until I was no longer sleeping. And when morning finally came, I woke up to her crying tears of relief. Only after she told me all of this do I remember feeling a distinct warmth and lightness that evening. And voices. I remember hearing the voice of my boyfriend from what seemed like 1,000 miles away. And I remember hearing my grandparents who were no longer with us. As it turns out, one of the side effects of all the meds they gave me was psychosis. That explained the lack of memory, the voices, the out-of-body experience, the whole lot. So that warmth and light might have just been my body finally recovering because it wasn't long after that I was taken off the strongest meds they had. And my liver crossed the finish line, beating out my rogue immune system in the race that would decide my fate. As soon as I regained my senses and my spirit, I was released from the hospital, and I began taking the first steps into living, not just surviving. I threw up almost daily for the next 3 months. I've had to readjust to foods that aren't just fluids. Sometimes I still have trouble keeping my balance. For the first few months, I had to learn how to walk again. Honestly, it felt like being a toddler again. It's been 6 months, and I'm still going today. But I couldn't dream of doing it without the support of my family, my friends, my doctors, and my boyfriend. I am grateful to everyone. I am even grateful for my disease because it has given me a changed perspective. One that's more thankful, more open, and funnily enough, more healthy.